Many of you have noticed that the bikes on my YouTube channel tend to be these real expensive high-end bikes, maybe even priced above the $10,000 mark. That's a lot of money. You don't have to spend that much money to have a great mountain bike. And all of you have seen these videos about the Marin Rift Zone 2 and the Ibis Ripley AF. Well, these are more considered budget-ish bikes in the grand scheme of mountain biking. Recently, there's been some sale pricing available, and that Ripley AF is now pretty close in price to that Marin Rift Zone 2. So, what should we do? Let's do a bike comparison, but not just any bike comparison. We're gonna shake it up a little bit, and we're joined by both Logan and Reilly, and we're gonna do a back-to-back comparison between the Rift Zone and the Ripley AF to find out just how these two bikes feel on the trail. Let's go give them a shot. Whoa, you guys are coming in like two cats out of a cat box. Hi, Jeff. Logan's riding like a cat. He's trying all he can to not get wet.
This one feels heavy.
They both feel light to me.
I'm really strong, I can't tell.
That was sweet.
We're here for scientific testing. We're here to do the dirty work.
So how did we get here? Let's back up a little bit. I spent a good bit of time last fall riding the well-known Marin Rift Zone. And lately, I've been really enjoying the Ibis Ripley AF. Carbon fiber is sweet and all, but for more than just Waterloo and Spindrift cans, aluminum is a completely valid material as well. For many, it's even a better material than carbon, but we're focusing in on budget bikes here, and carbon is simply not in the conversation. As soon as I use that word budget, I get an angry tirade of commenters complaining that budget should only refer to something valued at less than $17. Well, we're not discussing finger bikes from Temu here. We're discussing actual mountain bikes that you can send jumps with and trust with your life. If you're truly looking to save some money, do not buy a new full suspension bike cheaper than these, and instead, get a hardtail or a used higher end bike. I had originally planned to publish this video in late winter, but trips to Arizona, California, British Columbia, and Spain all got in the way of publishing. And now, while this video is fun and possibly even helpful, unfortunately, it's not necessarily all that relevant. The Marin Rift Zone we're discussing here is sold out from both Jensen USA and Marin bikes directly. I don't know what the future holds for that bike, but it was a hugely popular bike the last couple years. Many of you likely already own one, hence the sellout. The Ibis Ripley AF, however, is still widely available. Besides the derailleur hanger and paint, the bike has gone nearly unchanged since it was first announced in January 2021. In the stock configuration, these size medium bikes have very similar numbers. Both feature 65.5-degree head tube angles, 430mm chainstays, and a similar rear travel amount. The Ibis uses 120mm of rear travel, and the Marin uses 130. The bikes are also slightly over-forked and use a 130 and a 140mm travel fork. I do have a 140mm spring in the Fox 34 on my Ripley, so in this video, both bikes have the same fork travel. Now, that 10mm difference of rear wheel travel is really not that big of a deal. The key differences between these rigs come down to the geometry changes. There is a 1 degree steeper seat angle on the Marin and a 10mm longer reach. This combines to grow that wheelbase quite a bit. On these size mediums, the Marin measures 1205mm, a full 18mm longer in wheelbase than the Ibis. Across the other sizes, Marin is consistently about 10mm longer in all but the extra large size, and that's a full 15mm longer than the Ibis. If you're looking at these bikes and are super tall, definitely go for the Marin. It'll fit a bigger person better.
I left the lens cap on. Gotta do it again.
It looks probably so easy, not impressive, dumb. I don't care, it's fun, good challenge.
Some of you are going to hyperfixate on the exact parts that come on each bike. That stuff is not important to me. Focus on the frame and fork. You will replace parts as they break and wear out, and these parts are not nearly as important as how the bike truly rides. What really matters is that frame. Now let's get out on the trails and try these bikes back to back.
Check, right. Give me something, I'm lefty. Blah, 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 blah. That is a nice Tacoma.
Tacoma aficionado on the left is Logan. Logan's a really advanced rider. And then filming aficionado on the other side is Reilly. Reilly's an advanced intermediate rider.
Somewhere in here.
And you're a bit taller than Logan, a little bit heavier. So we got 2 data points here. It's gonna be a very scientific video. We're gonna hit some of our regular trails here, and we're just gonna trade off between the 2 different bikes, take turns riding them, go through the differences. I have both bikes set up for me and how I like to ride them. So they're gonna be a tad stiff for Logan and a tad soft for Reilly. Great compromise. Beyond that, we're just gonna have fun. So let's get up there and do this. Logan says he's excited to be here.
Did you guys ever Are you trying to film, homie?
I'm not trying, I am. For our first bit of trail, we're just gonna find some like pretty average single track. Really fun, mind you. I feel like I'm diluting it or underselling it, but bitchin' little single track, back and forth, fun little floaty route jumps. And we're gonna try it on both the bikes and see how we like it.
Ripley, dropping.
Reilly, take one on the Marin.
To start things off, we're gonna hit some more traditional mountain bike trails with twisty turns and some routes and some technical conditions.
Slowest corners ever.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. I got offline.
I did the same thing.
You did the same thing? You got a little wide right here?
Yeah, I just didn't stop. I didn't give up.
I quit immediately.
I said to do an intro on the GoPro. This is intro on the GoPro, first shot of the day on the Marin for Logan.
Let's check in with Logan on his thoughts on the Marin Rift Zone.
It feels like it's gonna be really harsh when I'm pedaling up, but then as I start going down and like actually hitting bumps, it softens up. I don't know, it's odd. It did some magic in that shock or something. But it feels, yeah, more plush than it feels like it's going to be. So it might be different for you because you weigh so much more. Like for
God damn, dude.
you weigh like what, 40 pounds more? But no, like I'm on it and it's using like such little amount of travel, but then when I start pushing into it, it seems to actually get into the travel feel pretty good.
Ripley's fun, huh?
I think I like that bike more.
What?
Both Reilly and I were like, we think we like the other bike more.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I don't know. He said when he switched from that one to this one, that one immediately felt more planted.
Oh, wow.
And I think it felt better too.
Did you think you rode it better on this one?
It felt faster on that one. But maybe because I was out of control. Yeah.
I will agree though. I felt in this section, I felt better on this one.
Yeah, I think that's how I felt, I think.
First two sections though, that guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, the difference is steepness and roughness.
To summarize all that, the guys were stoked on the Marin when the trail was a little bit faster and rougher, just more hardcore smashing. But then on the flatter, more awkward section of trail, the Ripley really came into its own.
Nice, I made it through this time. That's good. Sick shot, Jeff.
Over the years, many of you have asked, what kind of protection do I use when riding mountain bikes? Well, hopefully it's enough, fingers crossed. But you can see the helmet, you can see the gloves when I'm riding. There's two more things I want to talk about. One's kind of obvious and one's pretty secret, so stay tuned. First up, for knee pads, I'm a huge believer in these Endura MT500 light knee pads. They use the D3O material, which is pretty soft and pliable for pedaling. Then, heaven forbid, you have an impact, it firms up and helps save your bacon. Another thing I've been using over the years that I'm really excited about are the padded undershorts. So here's the deal. I have broken my pelvis 3 different times. 2006 as a wee lad, 2016 as an aspiring racer, and then again 2019, pretty badly too. I think it's pretty important to wear a set of padded undershorts, especially if you don't stick an arm out every time you crash. I really like the MT500 Protector Undershort because it's a pretty lightweight and simple piece of kit. Uses that same D3O padding right on the iliac crest. I've shattered both of them. And you also get a bit right over your sacrum, which I have also broken. Furthermore, they've got a pretty minimalistic chamois built into them. So I often wear these with just a synthetic pair of boxer briefs, and I'm pretty comfortable for most bike rides. I've got a link to these MT500 Protector Undershort 2s over at Jensen USA down in the YouTube description below. Anything you purchase from that link will directly help support my channel. It's a big part of how we make these videos happen. If you haven't tried these yet and you want to be top safe, I'm really happy with these things. Big thanks to Endura for sponsoring this video. Big thanks to my friends at Jensen, and thanks to all of you for watching and enjoying the videos. All right, let's get back into some riding. Who's having more fun?
Whoever's on the Marin.
I'd rather be on the Ibis. The Ibis feels like a skateboard that's more forgiving when you hit square-edged bumps.
You ever ridden a skateboard? In what world? What planet are we on? Skateboard being forgiving.
Let's turn up the volume a little bit and get to some more backwoods, steeper, rootier, slightly more aggressive trail.
Nice. Yeah,
That
Reilly.
line again. Right through there. Swapsies.
Yeah, we don't capture the switch on camera.
There we go.
So I was gonna say that Ripley looked better down that,
Couldn't
but
find the
I think
pedal
whatever bike
line.
Logan was on just looked a little bit faster.
Bad line again.
I maybe like this one more. I felt more precise with that one. I think I did my little pull with more control. Whereas this one, I felt like I was on the verge of washing the front end out on the turn right before it, which is kind of a key, like a key to making it. I don't know, like efficiency wise, they're very close. I think that one comes out a touch ahead, which helps.
What does efficiency mean?
This is not that steep of a trail.
So you're carrying speed,
so like
maintaining.
to keep your speed up, you're pumping these rollers, not pedaling as much.
You notice that, Reilly?
I would say the same thing. I still feel like this one feels more planted, and this one feels like I'm able to like just have a little bit more playfulness when I need to. Like with the front wheel at least, like I still having trouble getting off the ground on some of these little things. I'm not that hoppy of a rider, but like getting the front wheel off the ground felt easier on this one than on that one.
That one, it feels like it gets off the ground with less effort.
Oh, we can do a really awkward swap on camera.
Awkward swap.
Is that the proper technique?
Yes. Look at that. Just skid this whole bit. Awful.
We're gonna comment if we see your wheels not going down the hill. Logan was not impressed at your skidding down the trail right here. He skidded for like 3.5 feet.
Okay. Guy skids all the time. We're gonna critique each other's riding now?
Apparently.
Sick. All right, I'm in.
I heard skidding.
I heard skidding, so I don't know what he's.
I skidded a little bit, I'll say it.
Yeah, I heard that there was some shit talking going on, and someone didn't like my skids, and then said person went on and skidded.
It was necessary.
You feeling ready?
To skid more? Hell yeah. Oh.
This bike seems to make you want to go faster. The Ripley seems to make you want to play more.
You liked the Ripley more?
I think maybe. I almost underestimated how good this bike was gonna feel. And so I was like expecting to ride worse, but then that didn't happen. So I was almost like surprised. It feels good.
Same line as last time.
Do you have a preferred bike on this?
Oh, no skid. Nice.
It's completely different than everything I've said.
Nice,
For the rest of it. I
Reilly.
like this one better on this section.
Sweet.
There's a lot of back and forth through here. And so I felt like I was able to get to where I wanted to be better on this guy. Same line as last time. But this one did feel
no skid.
more entertaining,
Nice.
more fun through this section than the Rift Zone did. Which is completely opposite of what I've said for the rest of it.
Let's go hit some flow trails and see how these two bikes differ, what they're feeling on jumps and berms.
That was
Let's
sweet.
get into it.
Hi, Jeff. Nice. Good job, Reilly. You're flying.
Thanks, man. Anyways, tell your cats I say pss, pss, pss.
You look pretty comfy on the Ripley too, Logan.
I felt better on the Marin.
Really?
I kind of nosed it into that pocket better. Oh. See if the video shows.
So what's it like to ride with Reilly?
Good attitude.
Yeah.
Attitude is everything. Oh, greased it. He's a good rider.
Totally.
He said like he's a...
Is he advanced intermediate?
Yeah, he's like almost more than advanced intermediate.
More advanced intermediate.
Yeah.
Reilly, we upgraded you from advanced intermediate to more advanced intermediate.
Tell all my friends.
What'd you guys think of the bikes on the jump?
I like this one more on the jump.
The Marin. Marin.
I feel a lot more comfortable going fast on the Marin and kind of smashing into turns.
What about you, Reilly?
Same feeling. In the air, both of them felt fine. This one, I was definitely more comfortable coming into the jump
Oh, okay.
than I was on the Ripley.
I think this bike to me feels more playful on flow trail, and then that bike feels more playful on kind of tech trail, which is slower.
All right, so I tagged out and tagged in Jeff because I didn't want to hit this guy. So it's Jeff and Logan this time, and not me and Logan.
bike swap. There we go. Oh. Climb line. I like jumping that little bike. This is stable, kind of boring, unpredictable, fun. It's fun. Yeah, both bikes jumped good.
Yeah, they felt about the same.
Thumbs up, double thumbs up.
There's like a little root pole way up there, and this one felt a little tiny bit easy.
That one's easier for me to place the wheels on the trail where I want them.
That's kind of exactly what.
And it feels more forgiving if I make a mistake. This thing is just degaff. Yeah, this one feels great when you're in a wheelie just on the rear wheel. That feels great. That one wheelies like kind of better because you can turn it more easily on the rear wheel, but you don't have to be on the rear wheel to have as good of a time.
Is that super relatable, Logan?
Yeah.
I saw him do manuals today.
I was just about to say the same thing. I half pulled. Have you ever gapped these?
I cased it on the Ripmo in the snow.
Oh.
We could try to gap this right here, right now.
I'm a little scared now looking at it here.
If you just don't land on the stumps, you'll be fine.
It is more of a turn than I realized. Ah, made it look too easy.
Not half bad.
Not
I think
fair.
I cased it a little bit. First time I've cleared that gap though. I'll call that a clear.
Well done.
Woo! Oh! I saw your wheels in the air on this pump.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Something feels loose.
Try the shock, try the rear axle. I've had that 6mm shock bolt come loose once or twice.
Oh, that's loose. Main pivot.
Oh. Well, main pivot's this guy on the seat. On the...
Oh. No. No. That's all of them. How do you even...
Sorry. I love this big visor, but there's times when it's awkward. You gonna send it again?
I don't care. Which one should I don't know which one to do it on.
I don't know. I did it on that bike, so I should do it on this bike now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what?
You bent the tool?
I didn't really crank on it at all.
Oh, no.
There we go. Oh, damn.
Ka-kang! I think I cased it. Pump, 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 pull!
Oh. Yeah.
Ka-kang! Didn't clear that one.
He probably made it further than I did.
I think you made it further.
Oh,
Yeah.
I made it further.
Wow.
Bikes.
I didn't think I could go any further than that.
I almost could have done it better on that last pump. I caught I don't know if you can see it, but I caught my butt on the tire.
You need a mullet.
And I was like, yeah, I hope I didn't lose too much speed there.
Every day for the next week, this jump's gonna get easier. The ground's gonna get harder. It's early March. Soggy time of the year. Slow, hard to clear. So we get to pat ourselves on the back for basically
as it is when someone's right behind you and you're just like, wow.
All right, final conclusion with wonderful audio. Reilly, what bike's better?
I enjoyed the Marin more today. I felt more confident on the Marin all day.
All day long.
The only thing that I enjoyed the Ripley more for was flatter stuff where I kind of had to like bounce back and forth. But otherwise, I would go with the Riftstone.
And climbing too?
I don't think I had much of an opportunity to climb on anything except the Ripley, which was great. But I mean, I climbed on the e-bike earlier this morning. But you guys were on the Marin and the Ripley.
Logan, what bike's better?
Oh, I was going back and forth all day on which one I enjoyed more, and I think what it depended on was the type of trail that I was on. I think I said it earlier, but the Marin, I enjoyed it more on faster, steeper flow trail types, and the Ibis, I enjoyed it on mountain bike trails.
Mountain bike trail?
No, but as the trails got less steep and just more rough, more roots, things where pumping is more required rather than just riding down the trail, I enjoyed the Ripley more. like comfortability and climbing wise, I feel like they're neck and neck. Surprisingly, like Ibis might have a touch of the win there, but it's really close.
I'll go on record and say I prefer the Ibis in general. There might be places where the Marin feels really good and all that, but I'm just in a mood right now for small, little lightweight cross-country bikes, and the Ripley AF feels more like a cross-country bike I actually want to ride. Therefore, I'm just in that mood right now. I did really like the Marin a lot too. They're close, but call me the odd one out. I like that Ripley AF. It's just forgiving when you make mistakes and smash it into roots. It's like a skateboard, but a very forgiving skateboard. Reilly told me I'm wrong with that analogy. He asked if I'd ever ridden a skateboard, and I told him I'd ride a snowboard, and that's the same thing. Because that's also like a more forgiving skateboard. So if you want a snowboard of a bike, that's the Ripley AF. Before we finish up, huge thanks to my friends over at Endura who helped make this video possible. Thank you so much. Have a click down in the description below to see all the Endura clothing over at Jensen USA. Jensen's also a huge part of how I'm able to make this channel happen. Finally, huge thanks to Marin for loaning me the Rift Zone. Thanks to Ibis for giving me that Ripley quite a few years ago now. And to both Logan and Reilly for their time and efforts here with this wonderful day of testing the bike. Thanks to all of you. Please do subscribe if you enjoy this kind of stuff, and we're going to try our best to keep making it. All right, everyone. Peace and wheelies.